So I'm Cameron.
All right, so our product is the Gecko tape phone case, and my name is Julian.
I'm Paulo.
I'm Michaela.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Renee.
And I'm Cameron.
Well, I obviously have so much in my hand right now, and I wish there was a way to actually maybe free up a hand or put my phone on something flat.
So this is why we created the Gecko tape phone case. The Gecko tape phone case is being created to prevent costly damage to your phone. Gecko tape is integrated into the back of the phone case to provide a smooth adhesive surface that prevents the phone from slipping out of the user's hand. Since phone repairs cost an upwards of $100, our product provides an affordable way to prevent these damages to your phone. More applications of our Gecko tape are available, such as being used in construction or even being able to mount TVs to walls or paintings in your home.
So, what's unique about our company? So, unlike your average run-of-the-mill anti-gravity phone case, which uses microsuction, our case will be using nanotechnology of what Gecko explained before. Microsuction is basically what the name implies, just tiny little suction cups put together on one surface. And with our nanotechnology of a gecko's foot, it'll be able to stick the phone to any surface at a limited amount of times. Our case is also economically friendly because unlike regular tape that has to be disposed after the first use, this tape can be reused over and over.
How big is our market opportunity? Well, I want to start off by asking the audience, how many of you guys have a cell phone case on your phone? By a show of hands. Well, obviously, by the show of hands, a lot of you guys actually have cell phone cases on your phone, which will obviously open up a great opportunity for the cell phone case itself. Actually, by the statistic, 6 billion people in the world have access to cell phones, which is astronomical. And being able to provide cases such as our Gecko tape phone case to these people would be amazing. We actually did a test or a survey at our local high school asking how many of our fellow students would actually purchase the prototype that we actually created, and about 90% of these students actually said yes to it.
So, why we need your help? And so right now, unfortunately, Gecko tape is not mass producible yet because of the prototype stages it's in. But with your help and with your investment of $400,000, we are able to help fund for research to make Gecko tape more mass producible and more efficient. And we also will focus those $400,000 on nanoscientists, research for the Gecko tape, and warehouse space and warehouse employees.
Our projections for our product is, first off, our goal is to aim towards a young teen and teenage audience because of the fact that many of these kids use their phones on a daily basis. So currently, a plastic case costs roughly around 50 cents to $1 to make, at least one. And we're actually using a silicone kit to create the imitation Gecko tape, which costs around $23. But each kit actually creates an average of about 40 cases. So due to that math, we actually did, it's about 60 cents to create one case of one case. And we're actually going to be selling our cases for a wholesale price of $15, which retail will be sold about $30. So roughly, we'll be making a profit of about $13, $14 per case.
So our competitors, we have two competitors in the market right now, one being Everstick, one being Go Case. But like I mentioned earlier before, these cases use microsuction, which can only be stuck to smooth surfaces, and our case will be able to stick to any surface in a limited amount of times.
So our research limitations are that the filters to make the surface that we want to be Gecko tape will be 1 nanometer. And that's really small, and it's really hard to manufacture. So that's why we need to do more research into knowing how to do that. And also, for our prototype, we used silicone, and it wasn't really effective because it wasn't reusable, and it wore out over time.
That is our end of our presentation. We are open for questions.
Very good, thank you. So, as you guys mentioned, it's a very big market you have, and I'm sold on the need for application, for survey that application as well as many others. And the question is on the technical side, there's going to be challenges to realizing that tape. So I guess one part of it is, what challenges do you see in terms of taking it to a point where you can actually make this Gecko tape and service all those markets? And the other part is, it may even be beneficial to look at yourself as a materials company to make the material itself and then service all the applications and just sell it to them. But I mean, there's definitely an application in cell phones, as you guys pointed out. So maybe you can talk about on the challenges side.
Well, like we're aiming towards selling towards like teenagers, obviously, because they're the most that have like phones. And I mean, the challenges that we would have is to make sure that it's durable. So we would just have to put more research and time into figuring that out.
Okay. And so you need 1 nanometer. Are you think like nanotubes, or is there a particular material that you're?
On the Gecko's foot, they have a 1 nanometer hair, so it allows to have more surface area to volume ratio, which allows them to have adhesion towards any surface. So we wanted to manipulate that into the phone case.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question about, you could probably guess what I'm going to ask about, right? The business proposition. Okay. So in your presentation and in your materials, you put up your margin, and you thought you would have a profit of $13 to $14. Where's the distributor? How are you going to distribute this?
Well, our plan is to kind of advertise through social media, and then have that basis kind of get it around, earn a better reputation, and sell it to more big companies like that.
Because stated before, like our product is more aimed towards the younger generation, and many of the younger generation have social media. So that's probably the quickest and easiest way to actually get their attention for our product. And to sell it, we'll probably go through big retailers, hopefully like say Walmart, Target, Best Buy, all those types of product or companies that actually sell these products.
Let's say your product is just wildly popular, okay? How are you going to ramp up?
Well, hopefully we'll have like different applications for our phone cases, such as like different modulars we can add to it, such as like say a wallet you could add to it, or like card case holders. So it's not only limited to holding up your phone. We could actually add different types of applications for our phone case.
I think my colleague's comment is kind of interesting, that if you were to focus your efforts on material and not necessarily the whole manufacture of the phone, you might find that your distribution channel gets much easier.
No, I just had a comment. I was very impressed that you had presented this to your high school. How did you go about doing that? Through social media, or did you have a group meeting in the auditorium, or how did you go about it?
Well, I mean, for our school project, we had to come up with the idea. So we kind of presented it in our library and had a bunch of people come through. So we had we kind of asked everybody that came, like, would they buy the product, what their opinion on it was, and all that, to get like more of an aspect of how it would like people like react to it, and how they would like want like their opinion to buy it or not.
And did that inform some of this presentation? Did it give you some information that you didn't have?
Well, yeah, because obviously with the student survey, we obviously gained a lot of information off of that, because of the fact that many of our student peers would actually purchase the phone case because of how unique it is and how there's not really anything out there on the market besides the two.
Awesome.
Got time for one more question?
Actually, can you tell us how you came up with this idea, and can you also assure us that none of those really cute geckos are going to lose their feet in the scale?
Well, the way we were inspired for this is that like we have friends, and actually some of us have dropped our phones and it's cracked, and so we would have to go replace it, and it would cost a lot of money. So we would like to prevent that. And we learned in our nanoscience class that geckos have adhesion on their hands, and so if we could apply that to a phone case, it would replace the issue of having to fear to drop your phone. And we wouldn't actually use Gecko's feet to put it onto the phone case. We would try to find a material, because we use silicone, but it proved to be inefficient. So we would use more research to find materials that you could use nanoparticles to replicate the Gecko's foot.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.